So we've talked a lot about Jerry today.
Anybody see energy? You got a beat on him? Esther has a friend who sees him when she's in the room. It's an energy that's easy to distinguish, but you have to sort of soften your vision in order to see it. If you're wearing glasses, take them off and sort of look in the direction of Esther and see if you can't see others here with her. One particularly interested one.
So one thing that I think I remember Jerry saying was that he always wanted to be an uplifter. That he
had something that he said every day to himself. It was an affirmation that he said. And it was something that he said whenever he was coming into contact with any of you. Every person I meet, I want to be of advantage to them. I want to uplift them. And I want no person that I come into contact to ever be diminished by their interaction with me. That was a very strong intention that he spoke about often.
And I really understand that, like the logic of it. It feels very true.
The thing that we wanted Jerry to know then, that he does know now, is that that always is the case. You can be no disadvantage to another because you can't control their vibration. And as you're doing the best you can to hook up with who you are, Jerry liked the expression. In fact, if he had had more control with the publisher and with the publishing industry, on the spine of every book it would have said, self-help from your total self. Because he'd liked that idea of the total of you, the whole of him being present in any interaction. But things are always working out for you, and it's not a good idea for you to take responsibility for how anybody else is doing, even if they're doing it with you. Because you can't control their vibration, you cannot change their perspective, and in the trying to be of only advantage to them, hear this, because we've touched on it already and you'll really get this. In the trying to be of advantage to them, you're trying to get them to get you. You're trying to get them to find resonance with you. So without even meaning to, you are luring them away from their own inner being. You teach your children and you teach your mates and you teach your friends and you teach others. If you're performing in a way to get appreciation from others, often they're not looking for it in the only place that it really is, you see. But when your attention is not upon what they need or upon what you need from them, but your attention is upon your alignment with your own inner being, then everything works out from there.
I understand. I've gotten a lot of evidence that I have diminished others.
No, you haven't diminished others. You haven't diminished others. Well, it kind of made it sound that way when we said that you lured them away. But you can't make them come. We are source energy and we can't make you come. We're calling you. We're standing on our head. We're explaining it in all kinds of different ways. We're pointing out all the good things in your life. We're giving you clues, constant clues on your path of least resistance. But we can't make you come. It's what you've got going on that determines whether you come or not, you see. Whether you go along with who you are. You want to let yourself off the hook. Just teach to the clarity of your example as best you can.
I think, that's the issue, is I was doing it from such a disconnected place.
And you're looking back and your inner being isn't looking back, and that's why it feels so bad when you look back and have this conversation. Your inner being's not looking there. Your inner being knows that everything's just fine. Your inner being knows that you were 100% of the time always well-meaning. Your inner being knows that you've created a magnificent vortex. Your inner being knows who you really are and is not holding you accountable, no matter what crazy people say to you, is not holding you accountable for anything that you've lived before, because you have no power anywhere except right now where you are allowing this alignment or not. That's where all of your power is now. That's why regret is such a wasted emotion. It's looking back at something that right now you can do nothing about, and amplifying the things that you can do nothing about and using it as your excuse not to hook up right now when you could, if we weren't doing that thing you do that's holding your cork under the water.
So really all I can do is just align.
Yeah, not all I can do, all I really want to do. Yeah, just take it easy. Just line up. Your inner being is not saying to you, well, we've been flowing to you but we're a little disappointed in some things that you have done. So you're going to have to try extra hard if you're going to hook up with us. There's nothing like that. You make that stuff up. There's nothing like that. You're either reaching for it or you're not. And if something's got you feeling down, something's vivid in your experience, then don't try to get there right then. Put some distance between your asking and your allowing. Things happen all the time to accentuate the power of your desire. And later on, you realize how well it served you.
What do you mean by distance? What do you mean?
Better word, separation. Put separation between asking a question and hearing the answer. Put separation between being aware of what you don't want and expecting a resolution about it. In this situation, it's a little different because you can ask a question from wherever you are, and Esther can receive the answer because she's tuned in and she's not worried about what you're worried about. So there's distance between the question and the answer because you got the question and we've got the answer, and Esther's open and allowing the answer to flow. But if it were Esther's question and she were suffering over it, she couldn't receive it right now. When her question is activated, she can't receive the answer, and you can't either. But that's what trips so many of you up. You want Source to answer you right now while you're suffering. And while Source is answering you right now while you're suffering, you can't hear it because law of attraction will not allow it. You've got your tuner set to the problem, and Source has got their tuner set to the solution. Your tuner is set to the question, their tuner is set to the answer. So ask away, then meditate, allow your vibration to rise, allow your vibration to get set to the answer, then listen. Some separation between the question and the answer. That's why, what we said earlier, when you're praying in earnest from a place of pain, you can't receive the answer even though it's being offered because you're in a different vibrational frequency. So when you get over beating up on yourself and are offering just some genuine appreciation about something, suddenly it dawns on you.
So what does my inner being want me to know about this situation? What's the most beneficial thing that I could hear?
Things are always working out for you, and watch for the evidence of that. And nothing has gone wrong. And clarity is worth it all. And they want you to have fun with it, but they know that's asking too much right now. Enough?
Thank you.